VanCam. This is VanCam you waited for. Do you ever have a day off from being a tit, Steve? Do you? What the hell is happening, everybody? Kev Ashford here. Get that fucking thing off my face. Kev Ashford here for another edition of the ManUtd VanCam. Oh yeah. Hope everybody is well. I want to start the show by saying apologies there was not a VanCam over the last couple of weeks. I have got a valid reason which I'll run you through in a moment, but I just want to let you know what's coming up in this week's show. And hello to all the new subscribers. We're going to be looking at David De Gea, his current form, and asking the question, should Man United now consider bringing Dean Henderson back from his loan spell at Sheffield United? We'll be doing CockStroker of the week, as we always do. We like to honour them complete and utter strap-ons that don't even deserve to breathe the same air as us, but they do, and that's the way the world works. We'll be doing Tweet of the Week, struggling here already, and we'll end with a brief look at a few of your comments. But as I touched on earlier, I didn't do VanCam the last couple of weeks. Had a bit of a nightmare, if I'm being totally honest with you. I know there'll be people watching going, why, you don't need to explain yourself. The only people I'm explaining myself to now is the people that got in touch with me that were actually worried that something had happened to me. The likes of John Vallandigham, who messaged me via the old email and all that. This is the story, right? The wife was in an accident in the car. She's sound, not a scratch on her, nothing wrong. The car had damage to it. It went to a garage. The insurance, through all that, they wrote the car off, and I just couldn't believe she'd done that much damage. The story was, driving down the road, a hairy little cat ran out in front of the car. She decided to swerve to miss the cat, yeah, I know, and went into a skip, yeah. So all damage down the side of the car. Car's a write-off, man, because of some hairy little feline shitbag who decided to run out in front of my wife. Now my car's written off. I've sorted a new car and all that. It was on finance, so I'm not looking for any sympathy. I just wanted to touch base with the regulars to say that is my great reason for not doing VanCam the last week. So apart from that, I'm sound as a pound. Since I last spoke to you, Man United, 4-man, indifferent. You know, we were absolutely flying. That late goal at Southampton, how key could that be come the end of the season, come Sunday? Chelsea, did we turn up? Or were Chelsea really good? I like to pay them a bit of respect. I think Chelsea did an absolute job on us. They pinged back our wing backs. We couldn't get any flow to the game or anything, but Solskjaer made too many changes for me. You could argue the point. The likes of Dan James and that should be shining, should be stepping up and giving Solskjaer a reason to put him in the team every week. It's not happened. And then the same thing at Old Trafford against West Ham. David Bastard Moyes, old goggle-eyed bastard, rocks into town, and West Ham played well. You know, we didn't really create that much, and it leaves us now being typical Man United. We leave it to the last game of the season. We know that a defeat puts us out of the top 4. But a win or a draw, and we're in that Champions League draw for next season. But one thing I will not be doing, man, is celebrating if we do, and hopefully we do, finishing in the top 4. We're not Arsenal. This is the thing that Arsenal fans have done for years now. The top 4 trophy. Wait a minute. You don't get a trophy for it. And the least, with the money that United have spent, the least we can actually do is finish inside the top 4. Now, again, if you ask me this at Christmas, Kev, you're going into that last game against Leicester, you need to win or draw and you're in the Champions League. And I said, show me where to sign the form, sunshine. I'll sign it right now. Show me. Show me. Nobody here anyway. But that's what I'm trying to get across to you. We need to be positive, man. This is a one-off game now. I'm not going to say it's a cup final, because it's not. You don't get anything for it. But we're certainly going to have to play with that kind of mindset. Yeah? That's what we've got to do. Right, that's the introduction of the show. 26 new subscribers over the last 2 weeks. Oh yeah, Kev's doing robotics, why not? we're going to go into our first segment of the ManUtd VanCam. So strap on, what the fuck am I saying? Buckle up, get ready for a journey in a thing that we call the Big VanCam Debate. Q, John Vallandigham, struggling here, man. A very warm welcome to the Big VanCam Debate. We do this shit every single week, and we start by going back to the previous video and the previous poll that was on that. It was at a time when Roy, it's a nonsense, Keane, absolutely nonsense, tore into David De Gea. It raised the question, is David De Gea overrated? Which is pretty much what Keno was saying at the time. And although we laughed, we thought it was very harsh of what he said. You know, he's like, I bring back public stoning. You know, and the United fans should be able to throw stones at David De Gea. The bollocks. It's a nonsense. He was saying all kinds of shit like that. And Keane's a United fan at the end of the day, but I think he got a bit giddy that night, yeah? Let's just say that. So I threw out the question last week, is David De Gea overrated? 76% of the vote, is David De Gea overrated? 76% said no. Nonsense. So that means that Roy Keane is wrong on David De Gea. Who's going to tell him? Don't all put your hands up at once. I'm certainly not. Nonsense.
Never heard so much rubbish in my life.
And on the subject of David De Gea, the man that's got the best song in world football. He's big, he's bad, he's Spanish Dave. He makes great saves, he doesn't shave. Flying through the air. Come and have a shot if you dare. Brilliant, isn't it? Yes, David De Gea. In the media, again, for all the wrong reasons. Mainly the blunders against Chelsea in the FA Cup semi-final, which really I thought he was at fault for all 3 goals. I don't know what you think on that. But we're running with the theme of De Gea. The last VanCam I did was a couple of weeks ago. He was in the spotlight then. He's in the spotlight again. Now, I am not for 1 minute suggesting take David De Gea out the team. I like Sergio Romero. He's been a great backup, great servant at Manchester United. But when it comes to being that main man in between the sticks, what is that saying? Form is temporary, class is permanent. Permanent? Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm saying. Made that point really well, didn't I? But David De Gea, you do not become a bad goalkeeper overnight. Yes, he's had a wobble, confidence-wise or whatever, but this is a man that will be coming into his better years. The later he is, coming into his late 20s, early 30s. Look at Peter Schmeichel, was inspirational. Edwin van der Sar was absolutely brilliant in his early 30s. Whatever, mid-30s at Man United, he was absolutely mint as well. So I'm not trying to hound De Gea out the club. There's loads of people on this YouTube crack that'll be carrying on doing videos saying De Gea's finished, get this man out of my club, look at the money he earns and all that. United were daft enough to give him that money. And we all celebrated that night when that fax didn't make it through to Real Madrid. We all hailed Man United as this great club because they'd switched the fax machine off, you know, and it didn't make it through and all this bollocks. I was absolutely delighted that De Gea stayed at Man United and he didn't go to Real Madrid. And now people are cussing him and saying, get rid of him, we should sell him to Madrid, sell him to PSG and all that. That's not my question this week. We're looking at the situation at Sheffield United. United have a future England #1, future Man United #1 in their ranks at the minute, out on loan at Sheffield United, and that's Henderson. The question I'm asking you this week, Henderson, should we bring back Henderson? Bring back Henderson. I don't know how many times I have to say it to you. I'm not going to get any reaction, am I? Now, I'm not for 1 minute stating we bring him back, throw him into the first team, and then De Gea's sat on the bench and all that. What I mean is, do we bring him back now so that he pushes De Gea? Has De Gea been in this team too long? Romero's not going to fight him for the first team place. You know what I mean? He might get a bit of a run in the Europa League, few cup games, few run-outs here and there. And Romero's probably happy with that. Fair play to him. I like him for that. But does De Gea now need another top goalkeeper in the ranks to push De Gea on? Maybe he could rediscover his form for Man United. So the question this week, bring back Henderson. Yes or a no? To cast your vote on this week's poll, you'll need to click on the ManUtd VanCam YouTube page. You click on the community tab and the question will already be there. All you got to do is click yes or no. You can even comment on it if you want. You know what I mean? Yeah. And as always, there is no sitting up on that fence. Yes or no. No in between. Nobody likes that. Nobody. You know, fences are there to divide gardens. Let's just say a garden fence. I've got one because I don't want to be looking at Pervy Pete all day. I'm out in the garden with my kids and that playing football. I don't need to see Pervy Pete next door sat there in his pink mankini and his binoculars looking for his next target. Do I? Bollocks, man. So I certainly won't be sitting up on the fence. It's there to keep that dirty man out of my eyesight. Cast your vote. I'll let you know what the poll result was next week. For Big VanCam Debate! There we go. I don't know why I'm talking like that. There we go with he had a Big VanCam Debate. That's exactly what it was. I'm not losing the plot here at all. Next, we're going to do a thing called CockStroker of the Week. If you've been an absolute strap-on, an absolute weapon of mass confusion this week, then be afraid, be very afraid. Because Kev has managed to compile 6 nominations, yeah? And you could be one of them if you've done something, if you've just been an absolute bellend. So, yeah, we do this shit every week. So let's spin the thing that's called CockStroker of the Week. The award that nobody wants and everybody is shit scared of on YouTube. CockStroker of the Week. Okie dokie, here we go. If you don't know what this is a little thing that we do every week called CockStroker of the Week. Weapon of the Week, strap-on of the week, whatever you want to call it. This is the part of the show where we sort of praise the people that breathe the same air as us, but are just absolute weapons. That's all I can say. You get the gist of it. It used to be called Wanker of the Week. It's been turned into CockStroker of the Week. And a bit of that. Yeah. Anyway, I've got 6 nominations to run you through. I'm going to run you through from 6 to 1, obviously. Coming in at number 6, it is The Current Bun. Yes, that shite newspaper, The Sun. Wouldn't even wipe my ass on it. Not a chance, because there'd be pure lies all over me hole, and who wants lies on the whole? Don't know where I'm going with this one, but The Sun this week get it because they put out this story about Dean Henderson. Dean Henderson is Manchester United's goalkeeper on loan at Sheffield United. And he's proper shit up. Yeah. Anyway, Dean Henderson is the subject of a bidding war between Manchester United and Chelsea, claims The Sun. Which club would you pick right now? How can you be in a bidding war with your own player? He's our player, Man United's future goalkeeping sensation. How we could be beating what? How can we be? This is what I'd say. How can we be in a bidding war? How can we be with Chelsea? He's ours. Shower of bastards. I got 5 on it, number 5 this week. It is a little bit old, but there's been so many bellends out there. Every week has been filled with really good candidates for CockStroker of the Week, but I'm going to fit it in this week. The return of football, there's no fans, so few grounds have decided to put up fan cams, yeah? A big video with people watching the game and all that, but the most hilarious one was from the empty hand. It's a low blow. Get yourself set. Get ready to ring the fire brigade because Kev's on fire today. Basically, we're giving it to Manchester City, and it's basically because they could not fill their fan cam. Look at them. There's a few little, you know, Premier League logos at the bottom. It's probably just rang around. Anybody want to come on? No, you don't. No, don't fancy it. No. So yeah, can't fill the stadium. They can't even fill the fan cams. It's another low blow. Ring the fire brigade to put Kev out. 50. Number 4 goes to a Tottenham fan, and to be precise, on Twitter, if you want to get in touch with him for any reason, it's at allouttHFC. also known as Jack the lad. Anyway, he put out a picture of David Beckham looking sensational. I mean, I would lick that man's face. He said David Beckham is one of the most overrated players of all time. If it wasn't for his fame in America, he'd be a forgotten hairstyle merchant, a bigger PR abuser than Cristiano Ronaldo. So this is Jack's take on it. Jack, who's obviously never seen David Beckham play, he's probably about 10 years old, fancies himself as a bit of a troll. But David Beckham, one of the most overrated players of all time. Anyone that knows and watched David Beckham play will know he's one of the greatest number 7s in United's history. And that's beating the likes of, you know, think of other famous players that have wore that historic number 7 shirt. I'm talking Antonio Valencia, Michael Owen, Di Maria, Alexis Sanchez, yeah, need I say more? Anyway, it was the fact that he said Beckham was overrated, which I do not agree with, but it was one of his other tweets that he fired out to his very own Dele Alli, so he obviously supports Tottenham. Happy birthday to the best attacking midfielder England has ever seen for generations. Have a good day, bro, you know what I mean? As if he knew him, as if Dele Alli was going to go, nice one, Jack. Jack, you talk absolute horseshit, mate. And to even suggest for 1 minute that Dele Alli is anywhere near what David Beckham was is ludicrous. Number 3 goes to Leeds United, not because they've been promoted into the Premier League. If anything, I'm all for it. Anyone my age would have grown up knowing a rivalry with Leeds United is absolutely mint, and I want that back. I'm not going to congratulate them and say fair play and all that, because I know that next season that's one of the first fixtures I'm looking at. I'm looking at Liverpool, Leeds, and them other dickheads, City as well. They're all dickheads, in fact. But anyway, this one is basically because Leeds United decided to allow fans to be at their home games via a cardboard cutout. That you had to pay £25 for. Some people be saying, Kev, yeah, do the maths, mate. Look at all the people that paid 25 quid, Leeds pocketed it. I'm surprised the Glazers haven't been on at this, man. They've missed an absolute trick. But you will allow yourself to open yourself up when you can do this. So all you've got to do is send through a picture of yourself and they'll put it in the stands. And this is where it went tits up, because front row we had Osama bin Laden. There was also talk that Jimmy Savile, now then, was somewhere else in that crowd. And if you're not policing this and checking the pictures that come through, you know, who else could next be in the crowd at Leeds next game without fans? Number 2 goes to Uruguay. Why are you just giving it to Uruguay? I'll tell you. Yeah, there's been demonstrations. Black Lives Matter. There's been statues left, right and centre of slave traders. Anything to do with the slave trade getting ripped down and torn. And the masses all cheering and getting excited. I'm all for that. I'm not bothered about that. The reason we're giving it to Uruguay, number 2, this week, there's still a statue of this dickhead, Luis Suarez, the biggest racist in football, a man that once racially abused young Paddy Evra. I love that Paddy Evra. Get him in a headlock. Love him. How could you ever do that to Patrice Evra? And not just that, he tried eating somebody at the World Cup once. He's a cannibal, Hannibal Lecter. So why is this statue still standing? The people of Uruguay must unite and rip it down. And taking home the number 1 spot, CockStroker of the week this week, goes to a player that's been heavily linked with Manchester United, plays for Aston Villa at this current moment, and it's purely for this reason. Video up! This ain't working without the video, man. Don't leave me hanging. What an absolute shithouse. Sniped from the crowd or what? I like Jack Grealish. I love him, man. I think he's mint. And he's really, really good in a really shit team. So imagine him in a mint team like Manchester United, where he's made a lot easier his game. He can run around doing his flicks and tricks and shit like that, and he'll be protected by decent midfielders, decent teammates. But this shithousery, and I know there'll be a few people, Ashley Young used to do this. I despised Ashley Young for doing that when he used to drop like a sack of shit. But the thing with Grealish one, I mean, he stands on the other guy and then does he think there's contact? I'm gonna drop down like a sack of shit, and down he goes. Do not understand it, mate. You better than that. You do not need to do it. And if you do join the mighty Man United, I certainly don't want to be seeing these shenanigans. That was 6 nominations, 1 winner, Jack Grealish. You know what I mean? He's had it a few times. All that lockdown shit, telling us to stay at home, and then out he is, you know what I mean? Fannying around, drinking and that. Yeah. Jack Grealish, number 1. CockStroker of the week. So there is your dose of CockStroker of the week. This week's champion CockStroker of the week crowned was Jack Grealish, who basically went down quicker than Katie Price, quicker than a brass in a brass gaff when you waft a £20 note under a nose. Not that I would know about that, but Steve's told me. Anyway, next we're going to go into a thing called Tweet of the Week. This is where we honour the really good tweets that are put out on social media. So let's even it out. Let's do Tweet of the Week. It's time for Tweet of the Week. Things I do to her. Here we go with Tweet of the Week. This week's winner it is Scott Patterson from the Republic of Mancunia. If you've never heard of him, check out his website, check out his Twitter page, Scott Patterson at @R_O_M Republic of Mancunia. Absolutely love it, man. Some top articles, really good, insightful, read. Yes, there you go. But James Milner hit the old Twitter sphere, celebrating them bin dipping bastards winning the league, and he put 30 years, Reds, let's enjoy it. Honoured to be part of this team and this club. Hashtag you'll never walk alone. Hashtag champions. Hashtag can't wait to celebrate together. He obviously got an early night cup of tea and a biscuit. You know what I mean? No snorting cocaine off some hooker's ass or something. Don't know where that come from, man. It wasn't for that tweet. It was Scott Patterson, like I just said, who replied. The picture was a picture of the shirt which shows 1920, right? Which is obviously the year that they won it, 1920. But Scott Patterson was quick to point out, and I did notice at the time myself, thought it was mint. He said they didn't really think it through when printing up shirts with 1920 on the back, did they? Hashtag 20 times. Anyone will know that 20 is higher than 19. Yeah, you learn that shit when you go to primary school, man. You go 18, 19, 20. 20 is higher than 19. It supersedes it. 20 is what Man United have won. 20 league titles. Yes, Liverpool are now at 19. We're still ahead. We're still ahead. Yeah, we're clinging on to it, but we're still ahead. And for that reason, Scott Patterson gets Tweet of the Week. And if you want to send any, if you see a belting tweet, send it in to me. Yeah, sound. Nice one. See ya. That was Tweet of the Week. Ow! Alright, so sadly we are coming towards the end of another Man United VanCam. This is the best Man United van related chat videos, you know, account in the world. Probably because it's the only one, but I still live off that tag and I'm quite happy about it. One person who nearly made CockStroker of the Week this week was our very own Paul Pogba. I didn't touch on that earlier. What was all that about, eh? The handball against West Ham. Now, when I first seen it, I thought, fair play to him, man. He's took what a right shot in the face here. He's took one for the team. And then quickly, we see that he put his arms in front of his head to protect his beautiful face. What was all that about, man? Honestly, imagine Roy Keane could have commented on that. Imagine the likes of Brian Robson doing something like that. Just take it straight in your kite, man. And then we're playing catch up then. He gives a penalty away. But the thing that got me was the fact that we've got VAR. Is he absolutely fucking stupid, man? Of course they're going to look at it. And whilst we knew it was a penalty and they're showing reruns of it, it cuts to Pogba. And he's acting, man. He's actually trying to make out I've got blood coming from my nose. Never hit you on the nose. Should have been booked for that, man. It's just as bad as diving. It really is. It's just as bad as that Jack Grealish one. Woo, where he fucking fell on the floor, man. Anyway, a few of your comments very quickly before we wrap up before this weekend's game. Stuart Richter said, got my beers chilling in the fridge ready for tonight's VanCam. Now, this was from a week ago. I'm really sorry, Stu. You obviously sat there getting all excited and it never come out. But tonight, you hopefully, if you've got them beers still chilling, you've destroyed them and enjoyed yourself. We've got a new subscriber, Chris Johnson, and I want to thank a few people for this. He put out on Twitter, are there any decent Man United YouTubers I could subscribe to? Don't want the ones who think they are all that, though. Yeah. So Johnny Red, at the Gaffer 1969, and Steve Neary both recommended me Man United VanCam. Kev Ashford does a Man United VanCam, very funny and a quality lad. I just want to say thank you very much. I'm trying to think why I got subscribers, and that's exactly why. Little things like this help me. If you've enjoyed the show, like it. If you didn't like it, then do one, you dickhead, and have another set of them as well. You know what I mean? It's hard work, this, man. It's hard work. Default said, I'm a new subscriber. I love your videos. Are you going to post any more VanCams? Well, I just have, Sunshine. If you're watching, nice one for joining the gang. Chris Johnson, who've just said subscribe, said, nice one. I'm a new subscriber. Look forward to more content. Again, if you liked it, share it. You click the share button. You can put it in your Twitter feed and all that. You don't have to type anything out. It does it all for you. And it helps me out. And as I always say, do I get anything for it? Do you fuck? I think I'm arsing around with Marks and Spencer's vouchers. Recommend a friend. Just recommend me. And slide on. Slide away. Why is this not fitting me? My little lad had it on the other day. Right, Man United play Leicester at the weekend. It is a big game. I certainly won't be celebrating and going over the top if we do make the Champions League. Because like I say, I think it's the least that this current squad, the amount of money we've spent and stuff, but it is pivotal to next season. If we want to attract the big names, and I know some people will say, well, we've done that anyway over the years without Champions League football. Bollocks. You want the creme de la creme, yeah? And that means Champions League football, because that's what a lot of these youngsters are looking at these days. It doesn't even matter about the name Manchester United. These kids these days are looking and going, I want to be playing at the highest level. And that's what we've got to supply. But ultimately, we only want players that will play for the shirt. Of course we do, man. For United at the weekend, I'll be back next week summarising what kind of a season this has been for United. We will not know until the final whistle on Sunday. For United at the weekend. Come on, United! Whee! I said your love, keep on lifting me higher and higher. Thanks very much for watching the video. You can also follow me on these other social media platforms. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and of course, plenty of fish. Oh yeah! Thanks to everybody who gets involved, comments, likes, shares, subscribes. Subscribing is the main thing. It costs you nothing, and why wouldn't you want to do it? This is Man United VanCam.